Oh, when you look back at last night, obviously the second, fourth quarters, the defense field goal percentage for the quarters
Yeah,
it alternated.
yeah.
What was the difference between your defense in the first and third versus for the second and fourth?
We were much we were much more aggressive in the second and fourth. As far as that team does a really nice job of playing five out and moving the ball and side to side. And when you let them get in that rhythm, their shooters. That's what happens. The shooters find a rhythm, and I thought in the second and fourth we did a much better job of pushing them out further, not letting the ball just freely swing side to side. And I think that's one of those things that we know we have to continue to get better on. And when we do a good job of that, we're a pretty good team. And when we don't, we struggle.
So I know it's hard to play a full 48. I mean, that's tough to do in the NBA. But is that a mental thing? How do you build that consistency so it's not every other quarter?
Yeah. Well, I think it starts with the awareness of it, and I think from there it goes to understanding how important it is to be locked into everything we're talking about, the defense, the offensive execution, the playing unselfish, how important it is to really understand the defensive game plan for that night and then give everything you have into it. So, it wouldn't, you're never perfect for the 48, but you got to strive for the most, to get as close as possible. And that's what, we talk about it as a group, and we continue to work on it.
Quite a load lifted off your back a little bit last night with the win. I mean, it was kind of.
I mean, it feels better to win. We want to win games. But, I go home and watch the tape, and there's first quarter, there's transition defense. We're not getting back. We're not sprinting back. We got it. So, we show that today. When, like we always say, win or lose, we're coming in here to get a little bit better every single day. And, there's some things that we showed on the tape that just aren't acceptable for who, where we're going as a team. So, yes, it feels better to win. But nothing really different today as far as what we did and how we did it, and our approach has to be the same going into tomorrow. There can't be a sense of relief now. And I mean, this New Orleans team is playing really, really well, and they're flying up and down the court. They start Brandon Ingram at the power forward, and so they're going to put a lot of pressure on us, and we got to be ready to do all those little things.
From that standpoint, then, is it almost like you almost kind of look at it as a loss because there were still those bad habits that reared their head and could have easily gone the other way?
No. Because there's always, as a coach, you're always going to find things that you want to improve on. So, you talk about the positives, you build on the positives, and then you come in that next day, and it kind of dictates where your practice goes. What are the things we're working on? So, even though we got 3 games and 4 nights coming up, and a couple of guys are a little banged up, look, if we're not going to play transition defense in the games the way we need to, we're going to come in here and practice and do it. We're going to show it on film. So, not a loss, just a guide for where our priority needs to be on things we have to work on.
Do you have an update on Bogdan, Bagley, kind of where some of those guys stand?
Bogey is day to day. He didn't do anything in practice today. He participated in the film session, but that was it. So we'll reevaluate him tomorrow, and hopefully he's ready to go. We just won't know until then. Marvin will not play tomorrow. You guys saw him shooting out here, but that's about as much as he's done. But he's feeling better, getting better, and he's in the weight room. He's on the Ultra G. He's doing all those type of things to progressing in his health.
You obviously had long conversations with players. I saw you over there with him. Where's just his spirit at right now? I know he's obviously.
Yeah, it's good. And it's something I like to check in on. I know what it's like to be hurt, and it can get depressing. It can get dark. It's what you want to do. You want to be out there with your teammates playing, and he's such a talent. We all want him out there, but he seems to be good. So that's a good sign.
Richaun, seems like it's been the topic of the whole season. Just one of the biggest bright spots. He gets MVP chance from the crowd. Obviously, that type of player, what he's brought, he's become like an instant crowd favorite. Is he one of the guys you just don't have to worry about night in, night out?
He's one of the good students. You know he's gonna do. There's not a lot of extra time being dedicated to to making corrections on his part. And it's funny how it works. And you embrace your role and you do it really hard every night. How much a fan base will really start to love you. And he's a perfect example of hard work and being ready for opportunity and taking full advantage of it. So I'm obviously I'm thrilled the way he's playing for our team, but I'm happy for him as a person too.
And I mean, I know we talked about it a lot, but not really surprised at what he's doing. But obviously, like, you guys knew what he was, what he could provide, what he could be. But to see a guy actually do it in a 30-game sample size, to be one of those most consistent, what's been the most pleasant surprise, I guess, about him?
The things we just mentioned. Really, he comes into practice every day ready to go, and he's engaged in the film. He works just as hard in practice as he does in the game, and he's been doing it since he got here. They had optional pickup games in September, and he was winning a lot of those games and playing that hard in September. And he's consistent. He just shows up, and whether we win or lose, he works just as hard.
Is this a hard time of year to keep everybody focused on the same page? Have you noticed that through
In the history, in the NBA in general, I haven't noticed that with our group, no.